Okay, hi everybody. So my name is Sydney Riley, and this is my presentation about SOS 232 learning outcomes, basically going over everything we kind of learned, everything that I learned personally, and things that I plan on integrating um, later in my life. So the first thing was learning different styles and how to work with different kinds of people. This kind of goes along with respecting others. Maybe if someone's quiet, not really attacking them for being quiet, but rather learning how to work with them and their specific style, just being more empathetic in general. The next thing was teamwork. No matter your role, no matter what you were designated in the group, just making sure that everybody is not overwhelmed. If somebody is, then like maybe taking over some of their work or finding somebody else in the group who can help them out, just so that the whole team isn't struggling in greater ways than others in the group. So in regards to project management, staying reachable and communicating consistently, responding to group chats, emails, always being on the meetings and the Zooms. This helps you to be a bigger part of your group and also show them that you'll be there for them. Next thing, self-care. Practicing breathing to limit anxiety, really taking time for yourself, and not letting the stresses of work, personal life, academics take over you, and prioritizing your own well-being while also getting everything done that you need to. Next thing is to know your audience, know your stakeholders. Maybe tweak your presentation so it can be more effective and you can get a positive reaction to your audience, depending on who you're talking to. Like you might have one presentation that works really good for a certain company or a certain group, and it might be totally less effective in another. So just knowing how to fix that. Continually learning, taking feedback that people give you and using it as a building block of growth and not necessarily like a way of them attacking you. Just always taking into account people say whether you use it or not, but considering that it might be a place that like you're weak in and like you can take steps to grow. For me personally in this class, I learned to not like be overbearing in conversations. Usually I'm very talkative, very outgoing, and I like tend to take a more dominant role in groups. So I really tried to sit back a little bit more and listen more to what other people had to say and integrate my own ideas in a more equal way. I learned to stay on top of my work. I felt the pressure of my group, like not necessarily bad pressure, but like I wanted to turn things in on time so we all got a good grade. And I didn't want to be the reason that everybody else was brought down. So I made sure I was always on top of everything. The next thing is I usually take a really long time to respond on my phone. Like it takes me like weeks or months to respond to text. So for this class, I made sure that whenever I saw a notification in the group me or an email, I was on top of it and I was going to answer in a very like timely way so that my team knew that I was like reliable to communicate with. I always made sure that my schedule was somewhat clear. Like I had a certain date or time that would work every week no matter what. Maybe something came up on the day that we planned and we needed to change the time. Like I wanted to make sure I could be flexible for my team. Things that I'm going to integrate into my life. I really want to integrate breathing and taking time to slow down and like remember that my mental health is also important, as well as like improving in my business job, academics, just really prioritizing that as well. The next thing that I really want to integrate is a Gantt chart for organization. When we first talked about this, it just like made a lot of sense to me, and I thought it was a really good way of laying out deadlines. So this would be a really good thing to send out in the beginning of the term so that everyone's on the same page, no matter what. Everyone can always refer back to this. The next thing is active listening skills. Like I said before, I can be kind of like loud and overbearing. So remembering to like ask questions about others, make sure they feel heard, make sure they feel acknowledged, and like the things they say are being taken into account. So always keeping that in mind. The next thing would be setting goals, always having a place to grow to, getting excited about achieving those goals and little steps I'm taking to get there. I feel like when you don't set goals, it's easy to give up and just kind of be like, what am I working towards? So no matter what, I always want to make sure I have something that I'm going for in life. The next thing is the waterfall method, which can kind of be used in a team where you go around and you all say how you would fill out this method or like this chart, just to make sure that everybody feels heard and everybody's ideas get out there, whether they get used or not. But like everybody is like seen and heard for their own individual ideas. The next thing would be the grit test. This is like a quantitative way for me to see that like I'm doing better or I'm more motivated or more driven than I was last year. So just kind of like taking into account these scores and like seeing where I can improve in everyday life. The next thing would be checking in, making sure that I check in with my group, like hold meetings. I really liked our mid-session meeting where we talked about what we liked, what we disliked, how we worked in our groups. I feel like our group dynamic really like soared from there. Like it got a lot better. The next thing is keeping a meeting agenda, making sure that everything is filled out before meetings so that it flows smoothly. Everything that needs to get done is getting done in the meeting and nothing's really forgotten about. I thought that was a really like organized way to lay everything out. So yeah, so that's my presentation. If you guys need to contact me, there's my name and email. Those are my resources, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching. You guys have the best day ever. Okay, thank you.